Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's podcast. Um, so, I just want to start off by saying that I was going to have a guest on this past week. The week has been pretty busy for both of us, so we will definitely be making that up here soon. I don't know when, I'm not going to give you an exact time, but we will be making that up here shortly. Busy week, had family over for a housewarming party, family from Binghamton, so my wife and I have been kind of getting the house organized and put back together properly, nice and clean and tidy for them. Just prepping things as the week went on. So it was pretty busy. Didn't really do much gaming. Also, like I said, I didn't get the chance to do the podcast with a special guest, and last week I wasn't feeling too well, so I just made a quick little podcast. But this podcast is going to be a little bit longer. We got some things to talk about. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about what came to Game Pass this month so far, what's coming to Game Pass, more troubles for Ubisoft, Hogwarts Legacy, and the annoying controversy around that, and some other things as well. Halo, some good news on Halo. So let's jump right into it here with Game Pass. So on February 9th, Madden 23 was added to Game Pass. The Series X, Series S, PC, all the versions, cloud. SD Gundam Battle Alliance, which is a Gundam game, came to console, PC, and cloud. I don't know much about that one. I didn't really look into it. I did see that it was on my computer. I haven't really looked into it much, but yeah, it's a Gundam game. So if you're a Gundam fan, then probably something that you might want to check out. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord is coming out the 14th, so Tuesday. Perfect if you're a single person. It looks like you could have a date with Mountain Blade on Valentine's Day. I will not be partaking in that. I will be partaking in a night with my wife. That came out for console, PC, and cloud as well. City Skylines Remastered is coming to Series X, S, and cloud on February 15th. Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition is coming out February 16th, and Atomic Heart, which is the one that I'm really looking forward to, comes out on February 21st. That one is pretty intriguing. First-person shooter, action, weird stuff. I don't know exactly how to explain it. Let's see if we can get a little... Oh, Besiege is coming. Sorry, this... Also, I've heard some... Oh, leaving Game Pass is Besiege. Crossfire X is also leaving Game Pass. Crossfire X is a console Counter-Strike style game, which I guess failed, and they're shutting down all the servers, so multiplayer and single player, which kind of stinks because I purchased the single player. The multiplayer was free. I bought the campaign. The campaign I thought was really good. I had a lot of fun with it, but unfortunately both servers are going to be getting shut down at the end of this month. Recompile is also being taken off, The Last Kids on Earth, and Skull the Hero Slayer. So yeah, Atomic Heart's one that I'm really looking forward to. That one, it's a day one unlock for Game Pass players. It's a role-playing game that looks like a Russian take on Fallout. Okay, yeah, I guess that's a good way to explain it. And it's coming out on February 21st. You'll be able to use different fighting styles to take down robotic creatures that have turned on humanity on Xbox, PC, and xCloud. So yeah, basically a role-playing first-person shooter, a Russian Fallout. That's a pretty solid way to put it. City Skylines is just a city builder simulator, kind of like SimCity. I've heard a lot of really good things about that. I've never actually really jumped into it, but that's not really my style of game. So Mountain Blade 2 is a third-person strategy game as well. Build your own empire, engage in political intrigue, and crush your enemies underfoot. So basically, what I've heard is it's kind of like a Civ or Age of Empires, I believe. I don't know. I'm not really into simulators or strategies, sorry. So I don't really know what that is. Strategy sim games are not really my forte. But let's jump over from Game Pass and jump right into Ubisoft. So they've been struggling quite a bit. I believe I mentioned on here, if I haven't, that they are coming out with extraction shooter that looks pretty cool. It's gonna have a mixture of the Dark Zone and DMZ and Escape from Tarkov is what they're saying. I don't really know, but it is a Division style game, and I believe it's called Division Heartland or something like that, which looks pretty cool. I love the extraction shooter genre, so I'm pretty excited for that. But Ubisoft broke the the Division 2 so bad it delayed the next season. So the Division 2 was recently due to get its Season 11 update. Instead, the entire game ground to a halt after the tool the development team relies on to issue updates went completely offline. The damage is now being repaired with compensation planned as players wait for the promised update. How did it happen? Ubisoft's explanation is a fascinating window into the challenges and pitfalls of live service game maintenance. In preparing for Season 11, we began experiencing a series of delays in our localization process. Consequently, impacting the experience for many players around the world, the Division 2 development team announced on February 3rd. Therefore, after much decision, we have made the difficult decision to move the release of Season 11 and the live stream to a later date. Seems like a momentary hiccup and a temporary delay, but on Thursday, the developers behind the Tom Clancy loot shooter revealed the damage went beyond just a single update. This past Saturday, the process of creating the update which would resolve the issue, we encountered an error that brought down the build generation system for the Division 2. The team tweeted early yesterday. As a result, we cannot update the game until the system has been rebuilt. Man, Ubisoft is a mess right now. It's unbelievable. Normally, when the new Division 2 season is delayed, Ubisoft simply extends the existing one, looping the weekly missions and loop changes until the next content is ready to go live. Unfortunately, this is not possible in the current situation, the team explained, as we are unable to make server or client-side updates until the build generation system is restored. So that's like they said, gives you a little look in on live service games and what they have to deal with, like games like Fortnite and Call of Duty, PUBG, stuff like that. Which is, I guess, why Halo hasn't had issues like this, because they're not really a live service game, even though that's what they want it to be. But we will get that. We'll get to that here soon. It looks like that might be getting fixed. Now an emergency fix has solved that issue, but Season 11 is still nowhere in sight. We have successfully created and deployed a server-side update, the team tweeted on Friday. This is now live and extends Season 10 content. We deeply appreciate your support and patience. More news about Season 11 and in-game compensation will be shared at a later date. A great live service culling at the start of 2023 killed a bunch of online games. But the Division 2 wasn't one of them. Despite a period of malice 2 years into its post-launch life, Ubisoft announced a series of modest updates coming to the game and a new content roadmap published last year. With some players still roaming the streets of post-apocalyptic Washington, D.C., Ubisoft has kept the lights on as it waits for a free-to-play spin-off, The Division Heartland, there it is, to finally ship. Whether we'll get the Division 3 remains to be seen. So the Division Heartland is going to be the game that I play. Now, I bought Division 2 a while ago for $2.99. It was on sale. I bought it. I put in probably 5 hours and said it's Division 1 all over again, which wasn't bad. But I played Division 1 so much that I think I just got divisioned out. So I haven't jumped into it, but maybe when Season 11 does get to drop, maybe I'll jump back into it just to kind of get back into it for Heartland, because I am super excited for that. Like I said, I love extract shooters, so pretty pumped to play kind of the original extract shooter, if you think about it, with the Dark Zone. Alright, on to Dragon Age. Dragon Age is a pretty fun RPG game. I played it with my cousin a little bit. What was it? Dragon Age Inquisition, I believe, was the name of it. Played that a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. We played together a little bit, I should say. I played that game quite a bit, but my cousin and I played together for a little bit, and we had a blast with it. It was a lot of fun. I really like the style of game that it has, where you can kind of play as different characters on your squad and change up your fighting style by changing to different characters and stuff like that. Pausing the game, so it's kind of like a strategy plus RPG all at once. Third person, really cool. Look into an RPG game. Lots of fun, like I said. This one is Dragon Age Dreadwolf. It's the new Dragon Age that's coming out, and the leaks have shown a God of War style combat, which would be sick. Now, I haven't played God of War. I do want to buy the first God of War for my PC and play through that. It does look like a lot of fun. I've always loved the God of War series. Really extraordinary game series overall, and the direction that they've taken it, the reboot that they kind of changed the direction of the action and the fighting, I think was a really good change for the series, and it looks like a lot of fun. I really do want to jump back into it, play that one, and then get on to Ragnarok. Right here it says, Dragon Age fans have been waiting for the updates on Dreadwolf, the latest action RPG in the series, for years, only to receive the barest breadcrumbs. Last October, BioWare announced that the game was fully playable from beginning to end, but it hasn't shown off any video or screenshots. But finally, thanks to an anonymous leaker who received 20 minutes of gameplay video, a small portion has been shared online. Now they're all over the internet. I haven't actually seen these, so this is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to have to check these out. The original links have since been removed from the original Reddit post, though the leak was relinked by VGC. The original leaker claims to have received the footage from a former Dreadwolf playtester who managed to capture early alpha footage. Sorry, like I said, long week, long day. Today was our housewarming party. Great time. We all had a great time. Just pretty tired after this week. According to the leaker, the gameplay shown takes place in the in-game headquarters of the Grey Wardens, an extrajudicial force that features prominently in the series since Origin. The protagonist is an elvish knight who is fighting to protect the fortress from waves of darkspawn, which are fantasy zombies who share an eldritch hive mind. The chapter ends with a fight against a dragon that creates environmental hazards. Since the leaker didn't upload the full footage, their word is all that we have to go on. The game features fully real-time combat and was allegedly designed as BioWare's take on God of War. Sword and Shield players can expect to do a lot of manual parrying. Players can perform combo attacks and special attacks once a bar fills up. Oh, and a party control seems to have been removed. Well, there it is. The one thing that I was praising them on, and they removed it. Although I think it could be leading into a good direction. That's kind of what set Dragon Age apart from the rest of the RPGs out there. But we'll have to see how it is. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's good. We'll just have to see. Meaning you might not be able to switch between party members like you could in every other BioWare RPG. That last design choice feels very odd for a series whose core appeal was always adventuring with your witty friends. I have a lot of conflicting feelings about this. First off, this is alpha footage, which means that much of these assets are likely to be placeholders rather than final product, which is true. We might not be able to switch party members now. Maybe we can get them later. The combat UI looks cartoonish, and the menu interface looks like every other AAA game. I'm hoping that changes when the game actually releases but it's not helping the impression that EA is telling BioWare to make a standard blockbuster rather than a sequel to one of the most critically acclaimed RPG series in the West. EA has garnered a reputation for being one of the more risk-averse publishers out there, and it certainly didn't help that it had once tried to turn the latest Dragon Age title into a live service game. I'm glad that BioWare isn't making a fantasy anthem. Oof. That hurts. Anthem was a lot of fun. Not much there. A lot of potential. I think it could come back. Like No Man's Sky. Come out with an Anthem 2.0. Refresh it all. Give us a little bit more to do. And I think we'll have something there. But I'm not sure if trying to become God of War is necessarily it either. Fans wanted Dragon Age 4, not Dragon Age Ragnarok. I'd go for a Ragnarok. I can't get it on my Xbox, so I'll go for a Dragon Age Ragnarok. I'm not going to complain. Another fan pointed out that Origins took creative risks, which doesn't seem to hold true in Dreadwolf. I'm all for Dragon Age, that game that actually plays well. Inquisition, janky pathfinding didn't age well, and I didn't think BioWare could design great real-time combat until I played Mass Effect Andromeda. Must be you didn't play any of the other Mass Effects, did you there, guy? Because the other Mass Effects real-time combat was pretty awesome. Dreadwolf looks like a step up from its predecessor, but what concerns me is that BioWare is following in the footsteps of much more commercially successful series rather than trying to come up with something unique to its role-playing roots. It's true that Dragon Age's most dedicated fans aren't here for the gameplay, but they still deserve a gaming experience that doesn't feel like it was grafted from a completely different game, which is true. I do agree with that, but the story was pretty cool too. So if we get a good story, like I said, if we get a Dragon Age Ragnarok, I'm completely okay with that. Then I can save my money, and maybe I can get it through Game Pass at some point and not have to spend the money on my PC to get God of War. Now we're thinking. On to the next thing, Apex Legends is finally getting a team deathmatch mode, which is pretty cool because I really like the feel of that game. And I also heard that Titanfall and Apex are not going to get the combined game that they were talking about. There was some sort of collab that they were going to come up with, but I guess that was all rumors, and it's not actually going to happen. So I think Apex Legends getting a team deathmatch is pretty cool because, like I said, I really like the gunplay in that game. It feels really good. I really was a Titanfall fan, like a huge Titanfall fan. So I love to see that they're coming out with a team deathmatch mode. But unfortunately for you arena players in Apex, that's going to be going away. TDM will basically be taking that over. They're going to implement this in Season 16, so which will drop on February 14th. Basically what they're doing, what I'm seeing here, is that they just want to pull in more players. First team to 30 kills wins. Winning 2 rounds takes a game. Cool, so it's going to be a match, round style match. That's cool. I might jump into that too. Like I said, I love the feel of Apex Legends. I loved Titanfall, so I think that this might actually pull me back into Apex, which is exactly what they're trying to do. So far it's working for me. I want to touch base on Halo. There was a little leak that came out that kind of points towards them going to the Unreal Engine. I believe there's a tweet. I can't remember who made the tweet. I saw it earlier this week or late last week that they actually use Unreal to help develop the game in certain ways. So that kind of makes me feel like they are going to lean towards Unreal. They're going away from Slipstream, like we said before. They are kind of scrapping everything from 343 and then moving over to Microsoft Studios, and I really do think that that is to utilize the Unreal 5 engine, which can be amazing for the game. It might be tough to make Halo feel like Halo, but they can do it. But Unreal 5 engine is the way to go, and I think that that's the way that they have to go to make it a live service game the way that they want to, not by going through Slipstream and giving us a half-assed live service game. The live service that we have now is kind of weak. We don't get the updates that we should be getting. I don't even really personally think that it qualifies as a live live service game because the updates are so few and far between, and the updates aren't very big, like a Fortnite or a Call of Duty or a PUBG. So I think them going to Unreal 5 can help them implement it a little bit better, like Fortnite. Plus, the game will look beautiful. So yeah, I think that that's about it for gaming news this week that I can think. Oh no, Hogwarts. Forgot to get to Hogwarts. So there's some controversy on Hogwarts. The trans community, I guess, is up in arms. J.K., the writer of the Harry Potter books, J.K. Rowling is J.K. Rowling is very much a left-wing Democrat who supports gays and gay rights and all that stuff, and is very, very, very left-wing. Now, the one thing that J.K. doesn't agree with, that I think any human with a brain should also agree with, is that there's two genders. Well, the trans community is freaking out, saying that she's transphobic and don't buy this game, and she's a feminist, but she's also a transphobe, and I don't know, just a bunch of crap behind it. But in despite of all this past week, Hogwarts Legacy was the #1 played game on Twitch. So it just goes to show that if you go woke, you're not gonna. I don't think that this game would have done as well as it is, but because of the backlash, people are buying it. It makes me want to buy it. I've got a bunch of buddies that want to buy it just because of that. But putting all that aside, it's funny how these people freak out and they say to not buy the game, don't play the game, don't do this. There's streamers out there that won't play it. They refuse to play it, which is ridiculous. But there's still a lot of people that are playing it and don't care. And like I said, other people are buying it because she agrees that there's two genders, even though she's super left-wing. And I'm not. I don't agree with a lot of the things that she said in the past, but this I do agree with. It's biology. It's science. We like to follow the science and pay attention to the science. And she says that there's two genders, and I agree with that 100%. So good for her. Like I said, I do want to play it. I've seen a lot of great things on it. It does look like a lot of fun. The world is huge and beautiful, and the combat looks like a lot of fun. The story looks really cool. I do want to jump into it at some point. Not right now, but I will eventually jump into it. It looks really good. It looks like a great RPG. 26 different spells, I believe, all from the Harry Potter universe. Dark arts to your regular spells. It's got to go to class. Got to fight trolls and dragons, and it just looks like a lot of fun. I really, really can't wait to jump into it. That, and I also want to touch base on Hi-Fi Rush, which is absolutely blowing up right now. People are loving it. Great addition to Game Pass. Great thing for Microsoft, and I think it's just one of the fruits that we're going to get from these acquisitions. Yeah, people just loving it. They say that it's a great game, getting high praises. I mean, people are saying Game of the Year already. Like, it's going to be in the running for Game of the Year, which I really hope so. I think that would be awesome. It's something that Microsoft needs, a good, solid exclusive to Game Pass that can run for Game of the Year. It's a lot of fun. I haven't put much time into it. Like I said, this past week has been pretty busy, so I didn't get to jump into it like I wanted to, but I'm going to. I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to end up beating it. It just looks like a ton of fun. And inside that, in this IGN article, it looks like there might be a little Easter egg to a sequel to Evil Within. So there could be an Evil Within 3 coming in soon. The needle drop, and it says right here, as reported by Games Radar, this screen in question is visible for less than a second during a cinematic that plays before track 11. The needle drop and takes place in an elevator. You can see the screen in the image below, or an action courtesy of YouTuber Shirako, and can see on the bottom it says sequel to popular survival horror game franchise announced. That's it. I mean, I think that's it, really. It's from, or the people that made Evil Within have also made this game, so I'm hoping that that'll be the next game, because Evil Within series is great. I've watched some stuff on it. I played a little bit of the first one. I'd like to get through them. Haven't really had time, but they are something that I do want to jump into at some point, so having a third one on the way would be pretty cool as well. Yeah, so I think that is actually it this time. I think I've got through all the controversy and everything else. I'm exhausted, as you can tell. I need to get to bed because there's a Super Bowl on tomorrow. I've got a busy day. Got to get up, go to church. After church, got to go to a birthday party. After a birthday party, got to go to learn to skate. My kids are skating, like I said before. And after that, come home, cook food, watch Super Bowl. And thankfully I had Monday off, so I'll be resting that day with the wife. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, checking this out. Like I said, guest speakers should be here hopefully this next week. I gotta get a hold of him, talk to him into it. He's been busy after work, so he's been working after work. He goes to work, and then after work he goes and does a little bit more work. So I have to get a hold of him. Maybe we can do a little video chat, figure that out, and get you guys that guest speaker sometime this next week, I'm hoping. If not, then the week after. But check in on somebody, ask them how they're doing, tell somebody you love them, keep gaming, and I will hopefully see you before next week. Oh, another thing too before I go, streaming. I want to start streaming this week. I wanted to last week. I was busy. This week coming up, I've got everything set up. I got my mic figured out. I've got everything ready to go. I'm going to be doing some streaming. Call of Duty probably is what I'll be streaming. But I'm going to jump into it. We're going to start streaming on this channel a couple nights a week at least, plus doing the podcast. And yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are too. Also, this next week, I believe starting Friday, is the Stop Suicide or Soldier Suicide 30-hour gaming challenge. I don't know if I'm going to do it on YouTube or if I'm going to do it on Facebook Gaming. I'll probably do it on YouTube and just kind of put it on Facebook, share it to Facebook, or I'll do it on Facebook. I don't know yet, but It's to raise money and raise awareness towards soldier suicide. Our men and women out there that serve and protect our country have a really tough life when they come back, and it's the least I can do is to sit down and help bring light to the situation and maybe help some of these people out. There is going to be a donation tab on my Facebook. Donate $1, $2, $10, $50, $100, whatever it is. Just really want to bring this to people's attention and hopefully help stop these suicides, help them get the help that they need when they get back over here from seeing combat overseas. So I'll be doing that next weekend and the following week after that. So take care, like I said, and I'll see you next week.